Hello everyone, welcome back to Tali's Kitchen, and look at that beautiful vitumbua and those beautiful vibibis. Now, for those of you who don't know what vitumbuas and vibibis are, these are essentially a Coastarian snack and they're made from rice. The vitumbuas, I really like them when they have this beautiful dark color and they're kind of crunchy around the circumference like you can see here, and these ones just turned out absolutely incredible, guys. Vitumbuas are one of my favorite snacks from my childhood, so this one really speaks to me. It's also really easy to put together, and I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful color and that crunchy side using a non-stick pan. As for the vibibis, these are also made from rice, and these are basically rice pancakes. So perfect for those of you who are gluten free because there is no flour that is added to the batter here. The fantastic thing is we're going to use one single recipe to create both of these beautiful items. So without any further ado, let's learn how to get this easy, simple recipe done. And now, time to assemble our ingredients. So here I have 2 cups of rice which I soaked overnight, and I've just drained out the water, and I'm going to add this to my blender jug. Next up, I'm going to be adding 3/4 cups of sugar, but if you like yours really sweet, then go ahead and add 1 cup of sugar, but 3/4 cups is absolutely enough. Next up, I'm adding here 1 teaspoon of freshly crushed cardamom powder, and then I'm also adding here 2 tablespoons of yeast. Next up here, I'm going to be adding my coconut cream, and this is the small packet of the coconut cream, and I'm doing 65 ml. If you have coconut milk, just go ahead and add a half a cup of coconut milk, but if you've used the packeted coconut cream, so just go ahead and add a half a cup of water instead, and then we're going to go ahead and blend this until it is nice and smooth. As you blend your vitumbua or vibibi batter, you want to make sure you achieve a consistency that is very smooth. So ensure you take your time here. You don't want to have large grains of rice in your batter because then they won't cook, and you'll be able to feel those particles. So if you can look at this, yes, it's blended, but you can clearly see the particles of rice still in there, small but still in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back to just blend for a couple more minutes. So at this point they look much smaller, and this can actually cook in the heat, so this is good. I'm going to remove this, and we're going to go ahead and add this to our bowl. So in a clean bowl, go ahead and add all of your butter, and then we'll cover this with cling film and let it rest until it doubles up in size. So it's been about an hour now, and my butter is nicely proofed. It is a little bit warm here, hence this just took 1 hour, and this looks really nice. I'm just going to give it a shimmy to see it dancing, and then next up, just go in with your spoon and remove the air bubbles from this. I don't know why it's so satisfying to remove air bubbles from butter or dough that has been proofed using yeast. It's usually a very satisfying process. So this is a little bit thick for vitumbuas, so I'm going to go ahead and add here some additional water. Alternatively, if you have milk, coconut milk, go ahead and add that. So go in and add a half a cup of water and check on the consistency again. This does look a little bit heavy, so I'll go ahead and add in again another half cup of water, and then now this is good. So this is the light consistency you want when you want to make really nice vitumbuas, but initially when they were just proofed, that is the consistency you want to make vibibis. So next up here, I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of oil in each of these pods, and once they're nice and hot, I'm going to go in and start adding my butter. To achieve that really nice uniform color, dark brown color on your vitumbuas, you want to make sure you add at least 2 tablespoons of oil in each pod, because if the oil is too little, then you get I'll show you the video where you just use a small amount of oil in your pods. I'll link it up here. you'll see the difference. So to achieve that really uniform color, for your uniform dark brown color on your vitumbuas, make sure you add at least 2 tablespoons of oil. The amount of oil cooking the vitumbuas becomes really essential. So we're going to wait until they start bubbling up at the top, and then now at this point just go in with your spoon and gently turn this around. Now here comes the important process. To ensure that they're also uniformly brown, just go ahead and keep turning them like so on the pan and tossing them to the other side, and then we're just going to wait until they achieve our beautiful desired color before we remove this from the pan. These already smell really delicious, and I cannot wait to have a field day with these guys. They look absolutely fantastic. So make sure you continue tossing them around the pan as you go along. So some of these already have a really beautiful color, so I'm going to, like this one right here, so I'm going to go ahead and start removing this. Now you want to place this immediately on a paper towel so that you can drain out any excess oil. Look at that. Oh, fantastic. So go ahead and repeat the same process for the rest of the remaining vitumbas. I like to place them on my paper towel in a standing position because I believe it drains any excess oil much faster from both sides. So do use that as a method to drain out excess oil faster. And if you do want to get an even much darker color on your vitumbuas, just leave them on the pan for a little bit longer, but make sure you're constantly turning them around so that it becomes brown uniformly. So these look fantastic. I did 3 more additional vitumbuas before I started making my bibis. So just make as many vitumbuas as you want and leave enough flour to make your bibis. Now the vitumbua dough batter rather usually thickens as time goes by. So but if you do find that the consistency is a little bit light to make your bibis, then at the beginning you can remove a little bit of flour, a little bit of the batter to make your bibis. But if you had already mixed your additional water with your batter after the proofing, don't worry too much. If it's too light, just add a little bit of all-purpose flour. It won't make it really, it won't change anything in terms of taste or consistency. So just add a little bit of all-purpose flour to thicken it to pancake consistency, and then you're good to go. But immediately it had proved that consistency was perfect for making bibis. So this is my batter here. It's like I said, it usually thickens over time, so mine was perfectly okay. But like I said, if you find that yours is too light, please add a little bit of all-purpose flour. So next up, we're just going to heat up some oil in a pan and then go in and add 1 serving spoon of your batter, and then cover it. It's going to start forming these really beautiful bubbles here, which essentially make it really nice and fluffy. So once it looks a little bit of a solid on top, go ahead and flip this on the other side, and then you can basically repeat this process for the rest of your bibis. It's as easy as that. We're basically done. The same batter, 2 different snacks. Fantastic recipe. And look at that. Now I only managed to make these 4 bibis here, and this is I prefer vitumbuas way more than I prefer bibis, hence the small amount. But you can deal with your batter depending on which one you like the most. Now I really loved how these vitumbuas turned out, to be honest. That crunchy circumference is absolutely everything when it comes to vitumbuas. I am really happy about how they stand out. Look at that. Look at how fluffy and beautiful it is on the inside. Absolutely fantastic. And those vibibis or rice pancakes are equally as good, nice and soft and fluffy. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this recipe and I hope you will try it out. Do let me know how it goes in the comment section below. If you have any questions, please post them down below. I'm happy to respond. Consider subscribing if you've not subscribed to my channel yet, liking and sharing the video, and I will see you all next time with another fantastic recipe. For now, bye bye and take care of yourselves.